Hey folks, my name's Kevin and it's time for a little more knife nerdery. Today we have an unboxing of a knife I've wanted to check out for a really long time. I'm filming this as a talking head style video because this knife was sent my way by a different Kevin, Lefty EDC. And he tends to film his unboxing videos as talking heads, and actually he films them out in his truck, and I A, don't have a truck, and B, it's cold out and can't be bothered, so this is the closest I'm gonna get. Technically, this wasn't sent to me by Kevin because he had already loaned it to Brent over at Backpack B. So this was technically sent my way from Brent. Brent's is a channel that I only discovered maybe about a month ago. He's been doing it way longer than me though. And he's one of those channels that puts like a lot of really high-end editing into his videos. So it's way higher quality videos than something I can produce. I'm more on the spectrum of like Lefty Kevin, where it's just kind of point a camera at it and talk. Anyway, let's open this up and take a look. To do that, I will use a front flipper knife, and you'll see why in a moment, although, like I said in a lot of my videos, I don't know why I pretend it's a mystery. I've never tried to do an unboxing like this, you know, talking head style. Don't know really where to hold things so that the camera can kind of still see what I'm doing. The camera needs to see me taping it, or cutting the tape. Okay. This, by the way, is the Best Tech Tulip. Okay, let's pop this open. Okay, we get a little pouch, no markings on it. Okay, inside is a very crumpled looking COA, or I guess in this case, Certificate of Origin, COO. So yeah, what we have here is a Trevor Burger Custom. This is a LEXK CFL. And one of the things that I had to really kind of hunt down is what the heck all those letters mean. So we'll talk about that probably in the full video, though I'll do a little bit in this. Oh, man, I want to check one of these out for a long time. Okay, let's see the actual knife. Ooh, okay. That is very pretty. So this is a custom front flipper made by Trevor Burger, a second generation South African knife maker. He's been doing this for a long time, but he followed in the footsteps of his father, who's been doing it, I guess was doing it even before. And this design, the EXK, is actually a design that his father made first. The L at the beginning stands for long, so or large. This is the larger version. The EXK is a pretty small knife. I think it's like 2.9 blade length or something like that. The large version's still not very large though. It's only, I think, I want to say like 3 1/4. And that's one of the things that I really wanted to check out, and why I'm really glad that Lefty loaded me his, because I wanted to know if I liked the bigger size or not, because 3 1/4 is actually not that big. This is a front flipper, and the CFL, the FL is frame lock, and the C is for contour. There's also an SFL, and those are just flat slabs, which is the S slab. This is really freaking pretty. The milling work on this is very nice. Trying to feel how these seams are, and that's one of those things that you can tell, like, the different tiers of quality is whether or not these inlays have any kind of ridge to them, and this is just incredibly flush. That's obviously a carbon fiber inlay. Oof. Now, Trevor does different versions of these. These F or CFL ones are the frame lock versions, but he also offers like a really base level, and I don't think they get any add-on. I think they're just the EXK and the LEXK. But then he also does the plus line, and the plus line is a liner lock that has like a bolster style outside, where there's like a inlay here and the bolstery part, and then an entire liner there. Anyway, okay, it's time to finally try this action. This is one of those ones with a really tiny tab. Oh, wow. That was even better than I expected. Holy crap. Okay, so he offers these in 2 different blade shapes. I think he calls this one actually a spear point because it is basically a spear point. A lot of people would call this just a drop point, but he also offers it in like a sheep's footy version as a modified sheep's foot. Okay, that's pretty easy to push over. Fall to thumb. Very smooth home. Okay, I'll try that again. Oh, it's so good. Oh, it's so good. Okay. So Kevin is a crazy person when it comes to bearings. I love that about him. Oh, that is so smooth. And so he's tried a billion different kinds of bearings, like every kind on the imaginable. And let me click real quick. I don't get this wrong. Because he told me what he put in these. I asked him, of course, because scroll. Sorry for this. Yeah, okay, so these currently have Gillians in it. He said that he tried basically everything on the market. He said he tried Delrin's, Skiff's, the stock bearings, and now these Gillians. And he said these ones are the best action in his opinion. And this is definitely not one of those knives that's going to be... Oh, that feels so amazing. It's not going to be one of those knives that falls completely shut, but that's because the pressure. So this is a reasonably firm lock bar. Like you have to push kind of hard, and knives that are really drop shut are almost virtually always implementing that by having almost no lock bar pressure, because the pressure of the lock bar adding friction on the blade as the detent ball runs down it is the #1 cause of friction in that sense of like drop shuttiness. But what I can say is, oh my gosh, this is glassy smooth. I've owned a lot of knives that I would describe their action as glassy, but I don't know if I've ever felt one as smooth as this, because this is absolutely zero. You can't tell that anything is moving here. This is insane. I recently picked up this. This is the we-made production version of the Gareth Bull Shamwari. The Shamwari is another South African custom mini tab front flipper, Gareth Bull instead. And so they both have this same kind of like really tiny nub. And of course, this is a we production version. And when I got this one had a way too strong of a detent, and it made it really hard to flip. So I had to take it apart and tune it and make that detent less strong, and now it's pretty perfect. But what's interesting to me is that this, like I said, to make this work, I had to make the lock bar significantly smaller. This one has a way stronger lock bar. It's not strong, like it's not wildly strong, but it's way stronger. But I didn't have any trouble getting this to work. Oh, the way that clicks is so fun. It has this really, kind of like big clunk at the end. This kind of like thunk sound that's also very clack at the same time. Yeah, it's just got a very fun noise there. Oh, I like that a lot. This has a gorgeous hand rub satin finish. Whew. Now, I'm not a huge hand rub satin finish kind of guy, just because it's kind of the exact opposite of a working finish. It shows scratches just about as easily as any finish is gonna, because the scratches, I mean, most knives you're cutting kind of in this direction or kind of that direction, so your scratches you put on either going to be that way or that way, and the hand rub lines are always going like that, and it's rare that you would have a scratch that's going to run right along those, so anything you do is going to really kind of show up on them. But the whole point of them is they're kind of a luxury finish, and man, it does look beautiful. The plunge grind is done really well. I wonder how thin this is behind the edge. Feels really thin. I just realized I have no idea if I'm even on camera as I'm doing that. Whew. love it. I love it. I love it. Okay, I wanted to check out the size. You know, I still think for my hands, I'd probably want the smaller size, but maybe not. It depends, because like, here, this is a Pena Zulu, and I think this is about the size of the smaller one. I think this is about, and you can see in my hands, this fills my entire hand, but it doesn't really give me any room to go anywhere, and so this is like going to be my grip and only my grip. And I think it would be that same kind of thing where I wouldn't have any opportunity to move up a little or move back a little. Not that I really would need to. Pretty firm tension on this, which is surprising to me because it looks pretty thin. I was expecting this to be lighter. Wow, that really is... I love it. Oh, I love it. Oh, that's so fun. Okay, I'm gonna hold off. I don't know what I'll do with this. I'm probably not gonna take this apart. I like to take knives apart, but I'm not gonna take this apart, I think, for three big reasons. First, 4 big reasons. First is I haven't asked Kevin if that's okay. I imagine he would be okay with that because he takes apart frickin' everything. But that brings me to my second big reason. I don't think I really need to take this apart because if you want to see what's going on inside this, go check out Lefty's channel. Kevin already has a really in-depth disassembly of this video and video of this knife. And so I don't think there'd be really anything that I could show you in there that he hasn't already showed you. I do wish it had a detent ball ramp, but that's a pretty good detent engagement. And the fact that like the standard way you would do this is just kind of let it fall on your thumb anyway, it means it doesn't really matter. Is this one of the ones that has the over travel stop yet? Yes, it does. It's worth noting that earlier versions of this didn't have a steel lock bar insert, and they just had a carbidized lock face, which is fine, but it means that they didn't have anywhere to put in an over travel stop. So this is one of those ones that you can just push it over. Okay, yeah, so didn't ask him if I could disassemble it. He already has the assembly, but the other reasons is basically just that this is like kind of tuned perfectly right now, and he already worked pretty hard to make sure, that's so good, to make sure that, you know, he got this as drop shotty as he could. I don't know if Brent did anything to this to make it change the action, so maybe this isn't Kevin's perfect tuning, but it's basically what I would want it to be. The centering is perfect. Wow, there is really, really good blade to handle ratio. Like that is all the way up to the point where you can actually touch it if you really shove your finger down there, but not in a way that would actually scratch you. So that's about as much blade as you can possibly fit in one of these handles. I'm honestly kind of frustrated, and I think I'm gonna end on the fact that I'm kind of frustrated because I think I need one of these now. They're really expensive. I haven't gotten one yet because oh my God, that's just so good. I haven't got one because they're really expensive, and so I've been hunting like to see if I could get a good deal on one, or if I could get like, just like, I don't know, trying to find the exact perfect configuration. I think this looks dope, but I'm not like a super weave carbon fiber person. Oh my God, that's so smooth. Anyway, so like I haven't really found exactly the model I want, but the feeling that makes me realize that I need to prioritize getting one of these because my God, that is... Oh, wait. He also pointed out that he can middle finger flick this. Oh, I'm going to mess this up on camera. What are the odds I'm going to do this right the very first time? Well, it's pretty close. That's really easy. Oh crap, is it really that easy to middle finger flick this? That's another reason why I never really highly prioritized one, because I don't love just front flipper only knives. And like, as much as I enjoy this knife I just picked up, this is very much a front flipper only. There's like zero access to this blade, but you can get in here. I need to like, oh wow. I need one. Okay, I'm gonna stop this here. I am so glad I got to check this out. Thank you so much, Kevin. This is very kind of you. Oh, I should point that out. I'm gonna end on that. Oh, actually, I'm gonna end that. This is an example of the knife community just being extremely generous, nice people. I don't know Kevin. Like I've gotten to know Jake recently, and Jake and Kevin are friends, but like the very first thing Kevin ever said to me was, "Hey, do you want me to send you this very expensive custom knife I have?" And so like, this is the kind, and I've experienced this level of generosity a number of times already in this community, which is insane to me, that like people are so just kind and generous and willing to share. And so I would have, it would have taken a very long time for me to build up the guts, let alone the funds to pull the trigger on trying one of these. And this means that I got to try one by, a guy that doesn't even know me. That's so, thank you so much. That's, it means a lot. So thank you, Kevin. Thank you for sending this my way. I'll take good care of it. I can't wait to play with this some more. That is so easy to flick. I love this. Okay, thank you and have a nice day. I'll catch you next time.